Hi and a very good evening to all you Coca-Cola fans. I'm your host Godwin Eki. Welcome to Coca-Cola Sports Scene. Tonight we have John Avari, President of PNG Amateur Boxing Union, who gives us his views on boxing in the country, and Vonnie Capinato, the only female manager in the National Soccer League, talks about her team and the upcoming NSL season. Before we go into all that, here is Jeremy Moggy and all the weekend action.
There was a lot of sport in action over the weekend, starting off with softball, and there was some great softball action as the men's and women's softball league continued despite the downpour. Gazelle started off the B grade with a narrow 7-6 win over Yokomo, while Defence, United Brothers and Brown Eagles all had wins. Stingers pipped PNG Power 9-6 to round off all the B grade matches. In the men's A grade, and Defence had 2 wins over both Copex and the Manta Rays, with Gazelle proving too strong for Yokomo, while PNG Power improved from last week to beat the Stingers. And as for the United Brothers v Wolves clash, that game was not played due to the rain. To boxing now, and over the weekend, the Ben Moide Club at Murray Barracks was set alight with a vocal crowd watching the Ring Combat Tournament organised by the PNG Amateur Boxing Union. Featuring games hopefuls in the likes of Jacqueline Wangi, Mary Gregg and Annette Cora, the women showed that they could be as competitive, and if not better, than their male counterparts, winning medals in the 49, 57 and 64 kilogram divisions. To cricket, and the Hebel Barramundi cracked the top 6 in qualifiers for the World Cup, with Siage Raka being nicknamed the Little Magician. PNG stands on the cusp of the near unimaginable in the cricketing world, sitting only 1 match away from a spot in next year's Cricket World Cup. However, a loss against the UAE does send them back in their bid, and Scotland remain their biggest threat to qualifying. And finally to the NSL, and friendly matches continued at the Telecom Bissini Park as not 1 but 2 Admiralty teams tested themselves against Milne Bay franchise Eastern Stars and Giants Hekari. Eastern Stars, like in almost all their previous games, opened the scoring early, but wet conditions slowed their free-flowing style at times, and quick counters by Admiralty saw them threaten on occasion, with the result ending in a 7-goal thriller. Eastern Stars won that game 4-3. Hekari, meanwhile, showed their experience and class in their other match against the other Admiralty hopefuls, handing them a 4-1 lesson. However, the scoreline did nothing to dampen the Admiralty attack, with Hekari put on the back foot on a number of occasions. David Muta opened the scoring before half-time, while Reynold Gunemba scored a double and Nigel Dabinyaba sealing the result 4-1.
Thanks, Jeremy. We start off tonight with the Boroko off-season rugby league competition held at the Unagi Oval. After 12 weeks, the teams are settling in. We caught up with Boroko off-season rugby league president Amaya David as he talks about the season so far. Let's take a look. I'm here at the Unagi Oval with the president of Boroko Off-Season Rugby League, David. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
David, tell us about the game that's going on right now here at the Unagi Oval.
This is Boroko Off-Season Rugby League, Sports Ministers Cup. We are from Boroko. We just came. We played here in Unagi Oval.
So you transferred from the PRL Oval?
Yes, we transferred from PRL Oval, and we are now in round 10. We're in round 11, and this is the second last round of the competition.
Tell us about the game yesterday. I heard it was postponed, so can you tell us a bit about that game, please?
Yes, yesterday we always have all the big grades playing on Fridays, but unfortunately yesterday was heavy downpour, so we cannot continue with the game, and we postponed it. But I myself, as a president, I don't want the game to be postponed to midweek, so I just squeezed it up this weekend. And today, Saturday, very early in the morning, 8 o'clock, we started the first 4 games from yesterday, big grade games from yesterday, and a normal 2 big games from Saturday. And now 8 great games. We are now in the second game of 8th grade.
Tell us about the clubs that are taking part. Have they been sponsored or self-sponsored?
Yes, some of them, as you can see right now on the background, and some of them are playing right now. They are sponsored. They are sponsored company, or their sponsored names are at the back of the jersey. Now they are playing, and some of them, the sponsor is they are sponsored by someone or maybe a company.
What about the tournament itself, the Boroko off-season? Who's the main sponsor?
The main sponsor of this competition, myself, I'm sports minister's coordinator, especially in the electric, Mosfisad electric. But I just wanted the competition to be on, because some of the competition around official competition around mostly northeast and south, and especially at Koni Tigers and Hoala, Koni, downtown Koni, they are not playing because of upgrading of ovals. And I don't want that popular Boroko season league to die out. That's why I just struggled myself, and I told the minister, not the minister but his executives, and they pushed me to run the competition, and I'm now running the competition, and I'm now heading towards the last part of the season.
And these are the washout games, some of the games from yesterday.
Yes, some of the big grade games are played now, and the other four for yesterday's are going to play tomorrow. And then the normal competition for round 11 on Sunday games will be after the 4 games for big grades, washout games.
Now, to an interesting part, what about the finals? I believe it's not far away.
Yes, all the people, all the supporters, clubs, and all the players, especially all the sponsors too, they are really waiting for the time to come, and we are heading towards it, and only one more game or 1 more week, 1 more rounds to go, which is round 11, round 12 will come next week, and that will be the final round for the whole season, this season. And after that, next following week will be finals taking place. Thank you very much, Godwin.
Thanks, David. Stay with us. We've got more coming up right here on Sportscene. Welcome back to Coca-Cola Sports Scene. Well, PNG Boxing is a growing sport in the country, with associations now churning more and more fighters are turning into competitive athletes. PNG Boxing team has selected its train-on squad for the 2015 Pacific Games. Over the weekend, a boxing tournament that took place at Murray Barracks held at the Ben Moide Club. While there, we got to interview the PNG Boxing president, John Avira. Let's take a look.
This tournament basically is to give fights to our training squad for the Pacific Games 2015. Basically, we've got our boys training here camp in Port Moresby under the Go for Gold program. We've selected 38 boxers, but we put them through phases. This is the phase 1 of the training camp. And this is the second fight that they're involved in. Under the Pacific Games Charter, we'll be competing in 3 female weight divisions and 10 male weight divisions.
What preparations have they been through, the athletes?
They've actually been through skills and endurance and fitness training. We're looking at, upskilling them to a higher level, at the international level that they can fight at that class.
Have you provided any other programs for the athletes as well?
Yes, part of the program, we'll be engaged at Lamana Fight Nights, and then looking forward in March they'll be competing. We send a team to compete at the Oceania Championship in Auckland, in New Zealand.
Now with this tournament, do we have any, is it just the NCD participants or we have other athletes from outside provinces as well?
Part of the train-on squad was selected in our national championship last year in Kokopo. So they're basically from around the country. Obviously, it's dominated by the central NCD and Bougainville boxers, as you can see. That is because they provide, those associations provide the bulk of the members of the team.
Tell us about your sponsor. Do you have a sponsor for the boxing team, PNG boxing team?
Yeah, currently we are under the Go for Gold program. So all of our programs are sponsored by the government. So thank you to PNG Sports Federation, Olympic Committee, and PNG Sports Foundation.
What about individual sponsors? Do each individual boxer have a sponsor side, or is it just one sponsor?
It is one sponsor, but we would like to appeal to any corporate people out there, especially female boxers. We strongly try to emphasize and encourage women boxing, and would like to call possible sponsors out there to come with us, and we promote women and boxing as a whole.
So everyone's residing at the one place?
At the moment, they are camped here at Murray Barracks, and we're looking at another program straight after this one. This one expires on the 27th of this month, which is tomorrow, and then we'll send them back for a break, and we'll put them through another program. We're looking at 15 fighters in total. This is a process that we're getting through. We filter them through all these fights and see how they fare, and we'll make a final decision. But that doesn't mean that when they go to the National Oceania Championship, that's not the final team for our Pacific Games. The process of filtering and selection is still ongoing. In fact, for the whole year. So
it must be a very difficult criteria selection process to work on to try and select the potential athletes for 2015.
Yes, we are very blessed and challenged by the array of boxers we have, and we're looking to put them through a process to get our our 13 best to represent us in the Pacific Games. So we will bring them back here. We basically know who we're looking for, but we rather wait because they need to, commitment is another thing. We need discipline. Boxing is about discipline, and we're still putting them through the process. I can't put any dates to announce, but as I said, we're just filtering them, and this is one of the process that we get. Actually, it's not a development squad; it's a train-on squad. Yeah, we will take 15 again for the Glasgow Commonwealth Games as well in July. Thank you. Yes, as you know, we need money to run programs, and at the moment we are under the coffers of the government, but we encourage potential and private sponsors. I think boxing, I encourage, it's a sport of discipline, and we try to put our young men and women, or boys and girls, through some sort of discipline that they can become better citizens of our country. And I encourage any potential sponsors out there. As I said, we would like to drive this female boxing to give some prominence in this country, and we have a potential of winning 3 gold medals in the Pacific Games. As we all know, in the Pacific Games, women will be competing in the first in
Welcome back, you're watching Coca-Cola Sports Scene. Well, the NSL friendly match continues for the Admiralty FC, dividing their squad into two teams, taking on Hikaris and Eastern Stars. Well, we managed to catch up with Vonnie Capinatho for an interview. Let's take a look. Vonnie, what are the expectations on the team this year?
Well, we know the competition is not started yet, and we have seen a lot of teams are coming up very, very well, having a lot of international players and some very raw talent that we have never seen around in the country into teams. Like we play friendly with Aura, and I was very impressed with their team. And to me, it's a big challenge. Hikari didn't take the league very easily. We have to work hard to win. If we want to win for the 9th time this year, we have to work extra hard to win. But seeing many other teams are doing well, football is an unpredictable game, but we have a strong faith, but again, we have to work extra hard.
Tell us about the new signings that you have and about Peter Bolatoga.
Yeah, I'm very thankful too. We have the top striker of Fiji, Manura, that's Tuimasa Manura. He was my former player, the player that we have won the FIFA Club for the FIFA Club World Cup. His bike with us arrived today, and it's really boosting our camp, and having Brian Caltech, top defender of Vanuatu, coming in on Wednesday, and that's complete our team. Those are the two last players. Then Peter Bolatonga, because he had some family issue that he needed to deal with. Then hopefully he should be here in time. But to me, it's a encouraging part to see all the players together with my little boys, and looking forward for the league.
By the end of the season, what does Hikari hope to achieve?
Well, every team is looking forward to winning the league, minor premier and the grand final. But again, we have to work extra hard. But we did that all through the past week, and I know the boys can do it. But we always reminded the players it will not be easy. We have to work very hard.
The teams must be anticipating the start of the season. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, we have a lot of supporters and fans around the country and overseas, and it's really encouraging because many years we went through a lot of struggle with that.
Vonnie, IPA have been your training ground for a number of seasons now. We've heard that you have made plans for its improvement. Why is this so?
And I'm hoping that our home game will be at PNG IPA, which is Hikari's working on the orbit, and that will be really good in our preparation. The thing I just want to express again that hopefully NSL can see that Hikari went through a lot of trouble last year in our O-League because we play in a very small field compared to Fiji International Stadium, and Vanuatu, we are not much.
Vonnie Capinatho, the manager of Hikari Soccer Club.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm very thirsty, so if you can excuse me, I'm going to grab myself a can of Coke, and we'll see you after the break, so stay with us. Welcome back. Well, it's time for international sporting actions. Winner of Australian Tennis Open, Lena, becomes one of the oldest winners in tennis open history. More on this and other international sporting actions. Let's take a look.
We start off with tennis, and Li Na made it third time lucky in the Australian Open final with a 7-6, 6-love win over Dominika Cibulkova to become the oldest women's champion in the Open era. While she had struggled in the semi-finals, she had no such trouble against number 20 seeded Cibulkova on Saturday night, racing through the second set in 27 minutes after taking the first in a tiebreaker. A half hour later, she was holding up both thumbs to the crowd and holding back tears as she hugged her Slovakian rival at the net. Now, she's already promising to come back and defend her Australian title. In the English Premier League, Juan Mata, current Spain international and now former Chelsea player, has joined Manchester United for a fee of £37.1 million, that is roughly 170 million kina. United had confirmed on Friday that they had agreed a deal to sign the 25-year-old for a club record fee. Mata, who played 135 times for Chelsea and scored 32 goals in the last 2 seasons, has been described as one of the finest playmakers in the game. And finally, Benji Marshall could be ready for the number 10 role at the Auckland Blues. Now Marshall is going through a process he hasn't faced in over a decade after forging a storied 200-game career with the West Tigers in Australia's NRL. Now, he's become the latest high-profile player to jump from league to union, and he's learning a sport all over again. The 28-year-old former Kiwis captain has been with the Blues since late last year for pre-season conditioning. Marshall, who has a reputation for flamboyance from the other coach, is a potential number 10 for season's kickoff.
Well, thanks for watching Coca-Cola Sports Scene. I'm Godwin Eki. It's bye for now.
What?